Welcome to the Business Owner Spotlight Series. My name is Gabriel Moore. I am the senior partner here at Action Coach Vanguard in Central Iowa. Today I have Lynsey Mulder, the owner of Mulder Consulting, as my guest. We're going to be talking about her business, her journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop new conversations, just like this one. Lynsey, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Absolutely. So, just to kind of start things out here, can you give me a brief kind of overview of who you are, what your background is, and tell us a little bit about your business?
You bet. So I'm Lynsey Mulder. I live in the Midwest. I always tell people if you put the Midwest, the nation on the map, I'm right in the middle. I own a coaching and keynote speaking business. So I get to partner with people every day to be able to help them go after their aspirations and do what they really want, improving their leadership skills along the way.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So, and like, as far as you owning the business, is that your role currently? Are you the only owners or partners or
I
anything like that?
am. I'm a sole owner. So I've actually been a coach for over 25 years and I've led senior vice president roles at organizations. And for the past 5 or 6 years, I've really wanted to go out on my own, but kind of felt handcuffed to the salary and the benefits and all that stuff, knowing that there was something more that I wanted to do and that I could offer to the people that were around me. So finally, in the last year, took the leap of faith and went out as a sole entrepreneur on my own.
Oh, that's absolutely so fantastic. So, now that you're on your own, how many hats do you wear when it comes to like the business? You know, I'm going to ask this question, right?
Yeah.
How many hats do you wear when it comes to like the departments of your business currently?
Right. I think that was the biggest aha for me. We, as entrepreneurs, we have a thing that we just love to do, and we're
Yeah.
really good at it. And so people say, go after that, do that business. We make the leap, and then we go, oh, wait a minute, I can coach, but now I have to be an accountant and a social media expert, and I have to know logistics and all the different things that come with it. And now I don't have a team. So I have to figure it all out on my own. And I think quickly kind of that imposter syndrome that everybody talks about comes in because you're trying to figure out how do you organize your calendar when you're not great at all those other hats. And all I really want to do is be able to coach and speak and help people better themselves, but I have to do all of these other things at the same time. So I
Hardly
think the
seems
number of
fair.
hats is just huge. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
it really is. And it hardly seems fair too, right? Like you want to be that person that helps. You want to be that shining light that help. You have all these other responsibilities. And it goes to show there's a lot of business owners that when they don't make it, they end up moving back into an employment relationship, right? And so it's because
Exactly.
of the less stress, it's the less hats you have to wear. A lot of business owners out there, I'm sure, can relate with your experience with that.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you look at so in your business and on your business, I'm sure you understand the difference. In the business is doing the coaching, doing the sales, doing the finances. How often would you say, in percentage, hours, either way you want to answer this, how often would you say that you do work on the business, strategy, planning, how you going to grow, things like that?
Yeah, so I think initially, so my background is strategic planning. I was had that background at a large organization here in town. And so I think initially I was spending 80 to 85% on the strategic planning and putting the processes in place, making sure that all of that was complete. And I wasn't getting out enough and talking to people about the
Right.
things that I do. And so I'm at a pivotal point right now where I'm shifting and engaging. We're so fortunate in today's world with being able to build remote teams and people hiring, virtual assistants and things like that. I'm at a point where I'm pivoting so that I can offload some of those types of tasks and bring in folks to help me. And I can spend more time doing the things that I'm really good at, leading activation workshops and talking with people one-on-one. But I would say I'm still probably 50-50 right now. And I look forward to the day that it's kind of more in that 60-40 split.
Tell you what, if you're at 50-50, you are already rocking it more than most business owners out
Well,
there.
good.
No, for real. I mean, it's really a 95-5, if not a 99-1. I mean,
Wow.
it
no.
is really detrimental to be working on your business, and more people don't know. More people don't understand the power of it, at least, right?
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
all about quickly getting those systems in place that
yeah.
are going to be sustainable so that every single month you're not trying to figure it out again. Okay, now how did I process my payroll or how did I do this? When you get the system in place, if you can document that and make it sustainable just month over month, all you have to do is bring it up. You spend your 10 minutes then and you move on to the next task. It doesn't become quite so daunting.
And it seems so easy, right? Like you and I are talking about it. We know these things. It seems so like duh, or
Right.
like almost like a no-brainer, but in reality, it's not being done.
Right.
So what might be duh to us is not duh to other people. And that's one of the pieces of word that we're trying to get out with this whole program is to just express you're not alone. These systems are going to help you. They are the things that you need to do in order to grow and move actually out into more freedom, right? And
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad you're already doing it 50-50, man. That's good job.
Well, one of the, and I know, I think you want to ask me this later, so I'm just going to answer it now. One of the
Yeah, go
things
ahead.
that you ask is what's a piece of advice that you would give to another business owner?
Oh yeah.
And I think that was the best advice I got early on is copy everybody else. Like everybody else has been doing this. So if you can't figure out how do I process XYZ, go find somebody that's done it really well, write down their process and copy it. I think as entrepreneurs, we're all here to help each other. We want to see each other succeed. And there's no shame in that. Something that somebody else is good at, you're going to be able to offer them back a process later that they can copy of yours. So use that networking to exchange information and build up your business a little bit faster.
So two things on that I want to mention. One, every single bit of advice or information that we have today is essentially regurgitated through the years, right? It comes from somebody before and before and before and before and before, and we're just rinse and repeat it. We might be making it a little bit better here and there, making it a little bit better, but it all started way, way, way back, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is, and so when it comes to copying a style or it's not about being original when it comes to systems and things like that. We call it at Action Coach, we call it market research, honestly, because
Exactly.
it's exactly what you're doing. You're looking at the market, you're seeing what they do, you're applying it to your business in your special way. So great
Yep,
advice.
that's right.
Great advice. So, who primarily does Mulder Consulting serve? Like, if I were in the audience, how would I know if I was a good fit for your service?
Yeah. So I kind of have two different people that I serve. One is businesses. And so a lot of times it's where they feel they've got a gap in the culture or a gap in the leadership skills that their team has. And they want to figure out what is that gap? How do I overcome it? How do I put tools and systems and processes in place to make sure I'm building out the culture and the high performance team that I'm after? And then the second is when I start working with people like that, I come across people who've been really successful in their lives and their roles, but lately they're feeling like, hey, there's a little something more that I want to do with my life. And I don't want to get to 85 when my knees are blown out and realize that I didn't get to do it. And so I want to get clarity on what is that spark that I want to go after and how do I put a plan in place to make it actually happen and serve out what my purpose is. So it's really exciting because I get to work with people on both ends, really develop their leadership skills and become the best that they can at work. And then to be able to activate against those personal things that get them really excited and ignite that for the future.
So much. I can't imagine being 85 and not going out there and so busy with work that I didn't go out and I experienced life, right?
Yep.
Or get to 85 and it's like, yay, I'm free. I can't
Exactly.
move.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
wheelchair is not, this mountain isn't wheelchair accessible. Um, yeah, and I appreciate what you do for the community so much. I think it's so needed. It's so needed. So what makes you unique? Why are you suited for this? What would you say to a potential audience member that says, this kind of separates me from my competition? What does that look like?
Yeah. A lot of people ask that because you can get that advice from multiple places and you can work
Yeah,
with a lot of different coaches. As you know, we're kind of
yeah,
in a similar business.
yeah.
Fortunately, I've had the opportunity to live this life. So I've got four amazing but very energetic boys. I have been in senior vice president roles at Fortune 100 companies. I've managed multiple nonprofit organizations, all kinds of stuff. So I've worn the many hats of chaos in my life. I've recognized when and how to make my voice heard, and when and how to put different skill sets in place that maybe I was missing and I didn't realize. And so working through those process personally have given me and equipped me really to be able to help people with the two different aspects that I go after. Not to mention, obviously, the coaching certifications and various things like on the educational side that are really important. I've been able to live it out. And so that equips me to be able to work with the people that I work with.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. And like you said, many hats of chaos.
Yeah.
I wrote that one down. That's story of our lives, right? The
Yes.
many
I
hats of
love it though.
chaos.
I wouldn't change any of it. It makes us who we are, helps us to
Yes.
overcome, and then be able to translate those into relatable stories for the next generation that we're
Yes.
helping. Yeah.
Relatable stories. I love the way you talk. What's one thing you wish people knew? What's one thing you wish more people knew about your business or you?
Oh goodness, good question. I wish that people knew more probably just about how to engage. And so as we talk about being a new entrepreneur, getting out there, creating awareness around what you're doing and why it's important. And so just I think from the business side of it, probably more about how to engage. As far as about my business personally, for the people that I do engage with, I think it's really important for them to know that everything that I do is customizable. We're all unique in our situations, whether it be our person as a self or teams in a company. So everything that I do, I really try to customize and tailor to the person that I'm working with to
Sure.
make sure that their needs are met. We don't have any cookie cutter systems in life. There's no two people that are the same. So our offerings shouldn't be the same either.
Oh, I agree. I think that in life, especially. So, what about? Do you mind if I shift? I want to shift over to marketing because
Okay.
a lot of things that businesses deal with today is marketing avenues, right? Marketing strategies. And in your type of business, there's which is very similar to mine. There are certain marketing strategies that seem to be incredibly effective. There's certain marketing strategies that aren't as effective. And we're not like McDonald's where, you might have this very style of marketing as opposed to something else. So what I'm curious about is what's the number one marketing strategy that you use? And I'm going to put a caveat on this.
Okay.
Besides word of mouth, besides or organic, what's the
Okay.
number one marketing strategy that you use that you found to be the most effective?
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest. Marketing, I would say, is probably my most difficult thing. So, just because there are so many different avenues that you can take.
Yeah,
One of my personal coaches, because I believe in coaching as well, she gave me some great advice. I am a firm believer in our nonprofits and serving our community. And so I think one of the things that I'm implementing right now and just starting to put in place is that I make sure that I'm giving back every single month. And so I feel like if I'm giving back to the community and offering my services, whether it be to high school students or colleges or whomever that might be, that eventually that will give back tenfold as well. And it fills me up because I know that that's a generation that needs the information. So if I'm out there serving them, then I think that that's the best marketing strategy that I can have. Now, I'll tell you, I hate social media and all of that stuff. I don't like going out there. I felt very inauthentic. So I've been really working on how can I put things out there that make me feel authentic with who I am.
yeah,
And so that is a marketing tactic that I'm working on right now with my assistant to try to figure out how do I put that in place. And I think that's a challenge with all of us owning our own businesses is how do you kind of do that balance of, yes, it's marketing, but I want to be me and I want people to know who I am and what I stand for.
yeah.
So
It's pretty tough,
different answers.
especially in a business where you represent the business, right? Where I call it a talent-based business because it's you that is the business.
Yeah,
Where it's not this big team that's providing the service. It's you. And so when it is you, it's there's a little bit more branding that needs to be done, right? There's a little bit more
absolutely.
who you are as a person that needs to be authentic and out there. And you're right. How do you do that? How do you
Yeah.
get into social media and pull that off?
Mm-hmm.
The
That's where you
so
copy stuff. You lean on your friends.
right. Well, so you need to know so much about it in order to have a generalistic view of it. So that way you can be appropriate when you're asking someone to do something. You have to know enough to be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
However, get somebody that is really professional at it that can help you achieve kind of the results that you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So when it comes to like leads and things like that, do you have a very specific approach on how you track your leads? Or is there any type of CRM that you use or prefer that helps you with something like that?
Yeah, so I'm using Active Campaign,
Okay.
which I think a lot of people do because it can help with your emails, your marketing. You can link that to if you need appointments, you can link it to Calendly, you can link it to some of your event payments and be able to organize it with tags so you know where people come in, if they attended one of my events or if they came in from a website, what that might look like. So I do use that. I do still do just a lot of one-on-one emails though, where I'll pull that and might think of somebody and have something that I want to touch base on. And so I don't use it a lot for mass emails, but I do use that for tracking my clients.
Active campaign, is that like a widely used program? It's the first time I've heard of it, so I'm like
Oh,
actually curious.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of what it's similar to a Kajabi or something like that
Oh,
that would
sure. Yeah.
people.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I got you.
Active. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. No, I'm definitely going to look into that.
Mhm.
Okay. So we've spent a bunch of time focused on the business. Let's get back to you for just a second. Okay. So
Okay.
why did you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to continuing to work for someone else? What was the driving factor?
Yeah, this has been on my heart for a long time. And it's kind of funny because I started out when I very first went into coaching. I went to coaching university. When I very first got my license, I thought, this is what I'm going to do. And then I got sucked into the corporate world and just kept growing. And all of a sudden, you go from being so and so's daughter to so and so's parent. And now I've got this title, and my identity gets swept up in this title and all of the things with the corporate world. And all along, people are going, why aren't you doing this on your own? Why aren't you doing? And I'm thinking, why aren't I? What happened that I gave up that dream to become this other identity? And so it just made sense that this is the right time in my life. I past midlife. So I don't know what the second midlife crisis is, but it's time that I go out and I approach it and I do it and I give it a go. I don't, like I said, I don't want to get to a point in my life where I didn't do it and I didn't try. It's
Good for
time.
you. If anything, Lindsay, that's congruency, right? You're talking to your clients about this kind of stuff and you're saying, don't wait till you're 85. Don't,
Right.
don't wait. Waiting is like it's such an enemy and you live it. You actually do it. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And,
Yeah.
and that way you can experience it. And now when you actually talk to people, you're like, look, I've really been there. I can really
Yeah.
relate to you. I think it's beautiful, honestly.
My
Um,
kids are at an age too, so I've got boys from 18 to 28 years old,
yeah.
and I'm blessed to see them going out into the workforce now. And I think it's also important that I want to be a role model for them. So if they've got a passion or something that they really want to do and they want to go after it, they know that they're going to have our support 100%. And I want them to do something that makes them happy their whole life. I don't want them to be in one of those roles that they take negative energy home to their families and they're not happy in what they're doing. And so this is a good way for me to show them what's possible and that they can do it too.
Oh, you touched on something that's pretty close to my heart. So it's and it's worth deviating for a moment. So the way I see things, and it's not, again, it's not my opinion, it's an opinion that's been passed down to me from, that I've learned, right? That I've developed into my opinion and also my experience. But I think that the best parenting, in my opinion, the best parenting is learning to unlock your own potential. Learning to unlock your own potential so that you can model the most unbelievable things to your children. And it doesn't matter if you're a father or a mother and it's girls or boys, it doesn't matter. The fact is that you're teaching them that you can unlock your potential. You're showing them what can be done, and they're going to model that. Not then they're not going to model your work ethic and things like that, but they're going to model unlocking their own potential. And
Mhm.
I am all about that. I'm all about that. And it's worked in my own personal life. And it's
Yeah.
continuing to work today.
Yeah.
And so
One of
how
my keynotes is on supercharging your superpowers. And that's exactly what it is. We can often, our greatest strengths often are also our greatest weaknesses. And early in life, there's too many kids that hear the negativity about what their superpowers actually are. I mean, I'm pretty bold. I have an air about me that can either attract or put people off. And I remember some of my first teachers saying, you talk too much, you're too noisy, you're too bold. Some of my first performance reviews were, you give an air off about you that scares people. Later in life, I had managers that understand that those are superpowers, and they're like, those attributes bring confidence to our team. They draw people in and make them want to do more about about what we stand for and what we're doing. And so when we think about those things and how we raise our kids and how we talk to them about their superpowers, we have the opportunity to direct them to make the future brighter for them that no one else can do. It's very exciting to see the potential as parents and as leaders. I mean, it falls
Yeah,
to that too, but as
absolutely.
parents and what we can build our kids up for.
Yeah, I would want to, if I had an option to follow a leader, I would want to follow someone who was very concerned about learning, very concerned about bettering themselves every day. What a great idol or model to follow, role model, right?
Right. Yeah. Love it. We could talk about that all day.
I know. Another time, another time.
That's
So,
right.
so as you look back on your journey so far, what's been the most memorable roadblock or challenge? We don't have problems here at Action Coach. We have challenges. Okay. And
Yeah.
so what was your number one challenge, or at least most memorable one that you were forced to overcome?
My most memorable one was kickstarting myself. So I have all the ideas up here and I can go all day long with ideas and things. And then they would get clogged up in a notebook or clogged up in my inbox or whatever that looked like. And it's like, I have to pick something and I have to go. I have to start. And so taking that first step to starting was probably my biggest obstacle, which is 100% a mindset shift that
Yeah.
hey, I've got to pick one. How do I know if I'm picking the right one? It doesn't really matter because probably I'm going to do them all eventually. So let's just pick the one to start with and go. And I was blessed. I've got a great coach in my pocket that was like, we're not waiting anymore. We're putting this in place. And so let's move forward. But that was really my biggest obstacle. Just, okay, I'm doing it, which means I actually have to do it. So I have to put those things in and make that first step forward.
Yeah, we're called Action Coach.
Yeah.
Biggest risk you could take is do nothing.
Right.
Action. It's knowledge is great. Don't get me wrong. I love
Yeah,
education. I love knowledge, but it's worthless without action. And just taking
exactly.
that step, look what you've accomplished so far, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. We've certainly covered a lot of ground in our conversation. We're going to get to this, what we call a rapid fire round.
Okay.
For those of you who are watching, I really want you guys to come back to this. This is a coach on coach conversation. This is absolutely brilliant. Like Lynsey said, we probably could literally talk for hours about this kind of stuff. And I'm really glad that you were able to share a lot of the business related things. And, that's kind of what we're doing here with us. But I've got a few rapid fire questions for you, Lynsey, that I want one word or one sentence answers. You think you're ready to go?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
What is the key to success for you?
My support tribe.
Oh,
I
well,
got a great group of people that stand me up every day.
the tribe. All right. What is your one piece of advice for other business owners? Again,
Uh, Copy everybody else's processes. Do what works.
market research.
That's right.
What is one book you're reading now or have read most recently?
Designing your life.
Designing Your Life. Who's that by?
This one is let's see, Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. Pretty
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Designing your life. And if you had to choose only one area of your business today that you could immediately improve tomorrow, what would it be?
My own mindset around marketing.
The good old mindset. I know you
No.
already know a lot about that.
That's right.
Before we get into the final question of the day, Lynsey, how can others learn more about you or Mulder Consulting? How can they get in contact?
Yeah, visit lynsey.mulder.com, which is LYNSEYMULDER.com. Or my email's on there. Reach out. I would love to have a conversation or a coffee.
That's amazing. We're going to have links for that at the and I think if I do this, they'll look down. They'll have links down below in the description, so make sure to read that. Last question of the day. What is most inspiring to you today?
Oh, most inspiring. I think that, boy, this is a tough one. I should have prepared a little bit. Most inspiring is just the opportunities ahead of us. There are so many things happening in our community right now, in our world right now. The opportunities are endless. And so it's inspiring to me to have people hear their own voice and see their own potential. When those ahas go off around how we can connect, support each other, and be the best that we are, I think that's really inspiring.
Outstanding. As we finish up, I just want to say thank you. I want to express my gratitude. Thank you so much. This has been great.
This has been great. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see what happens with you and your journey. I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure. And thanks for letting me kind of peek behind the curtain with you.
Yeah.
This has been a business owner spotlight with Lynsey Mulder of Mulder Consulting and your host, me, Gabriel Moore, with Action Coach Business Coaching. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.